Madison Wilson was born with music in her soul. She's been humming since before she could talk. One morning,
I was in the shower just making notes in my head. I came out of the shower and I was like, Mom, I think we have a new song.
Of course, Maddie sang the song for her mom, Jasmine Wilson. At this point, many moms would have said, "Oh, what a pretty song, great job," and moved on with their day. Not Jasmine.
She started singing it, and I thought, okay, that sounds like it could be something. And so we literally sat down and rewrote the chorus and wrote one of the verses that same day. And then we went to record it.
I can climb any mountain, I can swim any sea, I can reach for the stars, that's what Mom tells me. This world may get round, but always believe I can do anything, yes, I can achieve, I can be anything.
This is the How She Moms podcast with Whitney Archibald. I'm a mother of 5 on a mission to help moms connect with your kids, manage your homes, and create your own unique version of motherhood. I curate ideas from different moms so you can pick and choose what works for you and your family. Before we start this episode, I want to thank our sponsor, Baby Trend. You may already know that I love their 2-in-1 convertible car seat. Recently, they also sent me the Expedition Race Tech jogging stroller. This is a great stroller. True to form, Baby Trend thought about all the little details. First of all, you can lock or unlock the front wheel with a simple switch, so it's really easy to maneuver. And they're all-terrain tires, so they can handle some off-roading too. The stroller has 2 cup holders and a cell phone holder up by the handles, which can adjust to any position you want, including facing inward, to make a bar you can push with one hand. There's plenty of room in the basket too, which is always a big deal to me, and there's mesh on the sides that goes all the way up to the frame, so your blanket won't slip out and drag on the ground. And this may seem like a small detail, but the tube stems are angled out so you can actually fit the pump on them to get some air in those tires. Can you tell I've struggled with this in the past? They really do think about all the little details. But the coolest thing is how it folds. My sister-in-law audibly gasped when I reached into a hidden pocket in the seat and grabbed a single handle with one hand to collapse the whole stroller. My other favorite thing about Baby Trend's products is that they're both high quality and affordable. So many moms think they have to break the bank to buy a jogging stroller they can actually jog with. But you can find this stroller right at Target.com. Okay, let's start this episode with some introductions.
So I am Jasmine Wilson, and I love to teach and sing, and that's in every area of my life.
My name is Madison Wilson, and I love to paint and just sing.
By now I'm sure you're wondering, Maddie is 9 years old. She was 6 when she recorded her first song. I'm not actually even sure how I came across Jazz and Maddie's Instagram account, appropriately named Music Love Laughter, but I instantly loved both of them. The first thing that caught me was that they just incorporate music into everything they do, which is how my mother raised me and how I'm raising my own kids, just making up songs along the way and singing around the house. Here's a great example of that from an Instagram post they filmed after Maddie reached a milestone in her accelerated reading program at school. They just sat down at a piano and started improvising.
I just met my AR goal. 16 points, for example.
I just love how they thoroughly enjoy one another, and they really do bring music, love, and laughter to everything they do. Do yourselves a favor and visit their Instagram page, Music Love Laughter, so you can hear more of their music. It's just so good. So I decided, as I often do, that I wanted to make my Instagram relationship with them into an actual relationship, and I scheduled an interview with them. I sat down with both Jazz and Maddie to get a glimpse into how Jasmine cultivates the musical talents that she discovered in Maddie early on. I started by asking Jasmine when Maddie first started singing.
Well, you've always been a hummer. You've always liked to hum, and then you've always liked to make songs out of random things.
Like mac and cheese.
Like mac and cheese, of course that needs a song. I mean, that's important. So what do you think your mom does to help make your talent even stronger?
Well, she does teach me when I sing, sometimes it can sound a little weird, and she tells me that it needs to like come out more cleaner, and then don't do this, like open your mouth
Yeah.
when I sing. And so yeah, she does help me a lot when I learning and singing and love songs.
Yeah. Do you guys do any formal lessons together, or is it more just like coaching as you go?
So I tend to coach her as we go. I play a little piano as well, and I tried to start doing formal piano lessons with her so I could start training her ear.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of got a little bored with that. And so what I found to be most helpful and most effective is in the car. We would
Oh,
do skills, or if we're washing dishes, I'd sneak in what I would call a formal lesson, but it's bite sized so no one gets bored. And so we haven't picked piano up yet again, but that's how we tend to do our music lessons. It's just on the fly. If our attention span is ready for it, we do it.
that is great. And that's the bonus of having that in-house expertise, right? That's great. More recently, they've also pursued more formal training.
Since we were in a pandemic and couldn't go anywhere, we went to Berkeley via Zoom and had a coach who graduated from there to teach her voice lessons and to give her just a different perspective. Because one of the things that's really important to me, as someone who sings and has been doing it for years, I know how valuable voice care is. And if you don't understand your instrument, you're not able to take care of it as good as
Yeah.
you can. And so she really learned a lot from this instructor. And so I've just been able to just keep building on top of that.
Of course, one of the ways Jasmine has encouraged Maddie's singing is that she's always singing herself, from home to church to Instagram and everywhere else. But it's also important that she takes Maddie seriously as a musician. Lots of kids make up songs around the house, but when Maddie comes to Jasmine with a song, she stops, listens, takes it seriously, and works with her to make it better, all the way to the recording studio. The first song they recorded was Freedom, a dance song when Maddie was just 6. Let's listen to a little snippet of it.
I got that freedom to be what I can be. 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 I got a message for the world. I am much more than a girl, trying to make a difference in my own way, bringing joy to every day.
Then, when she was 7, Maddie wrote Just Believe, which you heard in the beginning. She recently re-recorded both songs now that she's at the ripe old age of 9 and her voice has matured a little more. I'll include the whole song at the end of the episode. And you can download both songs for free at reverbnation.com/MaddieWilson5. The messages of both of these songs show that all the encouragement Jasmine has always given Maddie is sinking in.
For me, selfishly, knowing that I may not always be here, I want her to have my voice in her head. And that for me gives me a chance to give her those messages and to actually put them in a space where she can hear them forever and ever.
But Jasmine is careful not to push too hard.
And what we've just tried to do is to just support. We have not pushed her in directions. We've introduced her to things, and then we've encouraged her as she explored. And if she decided that she didn't want to do it, then we pivot to something else to explore and to see
Yeah.
if she likes that. So I think that's what's important, is to just don't force it, just introduce and encourage it. And that's why I think internally I've tried to coach myself that sometimes I'll say to Madison, "Oh, that was really good what you did. Let's record that." And she might say, "I'm not really in the mood to do that right now." And I'll say, "Okay." And for me, that's my way of showing her that it's all right if you don't want to record. It's all right if you don't want to sing right now. Because at the end of the day, we all know that if you're not passionate about it, it's going to be difficult to do it. You lose your desire and your joy for it.
And Maddie has many more talents up her sleeve.
Madison
Awesome.
has fallen in love with basketball, and I didn't have that on my bingo card. So I was not the best athlete. I had a whole lot of heart, but she loves basketball. She's gotten into softball, and of course she's got her art. But some of the character traits that I see in her that just make me so proud are just her ability to care so much for other people and to have that just genuine compassion and concern for other people's lives. Because at the end of the day, I think it's great that she can play basketball. I think it's great that she can play softball. But to know that we're raising someone who loves and is a good human being, that's important to me. Then also, she's a leader, and raising a leader takes lots of patience and lots of understanding because they ask questions, lots and lots of questions. And they also, they have opinions. And so one of the things that I really love that I've seen as a great character trait in her is that she doesn't have a fear of asking a bad question. And we've taught her there are no bad questions. You ask. If there's something that you want to know, you ask it.
Awesome. And Maddie, with basketball, where did you start out? Did you start out just like playing with the other kids at school, or did you just watch people and decide that looked fun? How did you decide which sports you wanted to try?
Well, I don't really tell people this, but there was one time at work where we were at recess, and there was this one left ball that was in the basket. So I decided to pick it up, and I started dribbling with it. And I was like, oh, not too shabby.
I love it.
And then I asked my dad to sign me up for a basketball team for this sports complex with an amazing coach who is not. He is patient with us, but he does tell us what to do, and that's really awesome. So
Yeah. Shout out to Temp Academy.
yes,
Awesome.
Amazing young man who's volunteering and taking on the charge of teaching these kids the game and the skills that come with basketball.
That's great. So, Maddie, do you ever feel like quitting, or do you ever feel discouraged with any of these things that you've been trying?
no, not really, but it does get hard sometimes. But
Mhm.
we just got to keep the faith.
Yeah, it looks like you like the work that goes into it too.
It's actually very fun.
Yeah, when you find things you're passionate about, the work becomes fun, right?
Especially braiding.
Yeah, she
Oh.
loves to braid now.
Another talent comes forward. My goodness.
Since COVID shut down some parts of the world, well, not some parts, but the whole
Yeah,
part,
the world.
in 2020, I started braiding and finding new talents that I had because, well, what else was I supposed to do? I was bored.
Good point. That's one of the points that I hadn't thought to make yet, but boredom breeds talent, right?
It does. It really does. Yeah. She started playing with braiding and then I started watching, and she was good because I can't braid. So I can braid down, but I can't braid to the scalp. And she was beginning to really show some potential. And so we put her in a braiding boot camp because she wants to learn. And in 3 hours, she learned how to cornrow and do some more complicated types of braiding. And she's loving it. She has a mannequin and puts in hair. It's crazy. So whatever
that is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
At this point in the interview, we let Maddie go so I could talk to Jasmine about how she uses her own special gift of cultivating the talents of others in her professional life as well. But before Maddie said goodbye, she had one last thing to say.
I have to make one shout out. Shout out to my mom because she's helped me a lot with progressing my voice and helping me to learn good habits and not bad habits. And I just thank her for that. And I love you, Mom.
Oh, girl.
Oh. In addition to being such a fabulous mother, Jasmine has an incredible voice herself and planned to be a music teacher. But during college, she found a passion for college administration and pursued that. That career led her to work in the corporate world in human resources, doing corporate training, which in turn led to her current career, teaching business classes in high school and running the work-based learning program. So Jasmine, I'm wondering from a more high level, why you think it is important to encourage children to develop their talents.
Oh, so I think about the innovators that are preparing to change the world today, tomorrow. I mean, you've got kids that have some amazing talents that just need to be cultivated, that just need to be recognized. And I think it's important to allow them to dream big and to think big. And one of the reasons for that is, for me, growing up as a little girl, I didn't have a lot of insight into, people who were super successful. Wasn't connected to individuals who had gone to college or, who had started their own businesses. And so when I started to see that, I thought, wow, that's pretty insane. And then to become someone who's in that space, that's rewarding. Now, how do I go back and feed it forward? I can help other kids see that in themselves. And I think it's really important to help them see beyond where they are right now. And a lot of that comes from helping them discover their talents and their gifts. And sometimes that turns into the next medical research solution or, the next song that inspires a generation. And so it's really important to allow those kids to dream and to think so that they don't marginalize themselves into this box that, because so-and-so only worked in this space, this is all I can do.
Yeah.
We got to challenge them to think big.
So I'm guessing that not every student you encounter has the confidence that Maddie has. How have you helped some of your students recognize and cultivate their talents?
Oh, I love this question too. So with my students, so I am this person all day long. I am someone who likes to motivate, encourage, inspire. Every now and then I'll come across a student who says, I can't do this. And I'll tell them every day for 5 days, yes, you can. I believe in you. Yes, you can. And I can think of one particular story of a student where they were they chose their seat in the back. And I could see that they were gifted by the type of work that they were turning in, but they would get distracted because they were sitting closer to the back, easier to get a little distracted. And so I said, you're probably going to be mad at me for 2 days. And I gave them a time, you're going to be mad at me for 2 days, but I'm moving you closer to me because I see something in you and I want you to see it too. And so I moved that student, and to watch them flourish, like I began to see her start to receive that encouragement, that motivation, that she really could do it. And she's just one example of many, helping them relate things to things that they understand. A lot of times kind of opens them up, gives them a little encouragement, and then their gifts just begin to shine because you've made space for them to not feel scared, to not feel anxious. And I think a lot of times that's what you have to do. You have to remove that roadblock so that they can shine.
How do you think parents can help build resilience?
I think one of the best things that I've read in the last year or so is the importance of parenting with grace and extending grace. And that does not mean that you don't hold your child to high expectations. That does not mean that there aren't consequences for actions. However, you have to give them some space to try and fail.
Yeah.
That's how it is. And then that way, when they leave your care and they get out in the world and they fail, they don't quit. They say, instead of quitting, they think, all right, that's just something I'm going to have to rebound from. Mom taught me, hey, that's what it is. I'm just going to do it. Brush myself off and try it again.
And I love how you outsourced the braiding,
I do it.
but more important is that we teach them how to learn something and how to fail and how to come back. Those are way more valuable skills than the specific technical skills that they're going to learn over their life. So I love that you said that. Maddie has some parting words of encouragement, which we'll follow up with the full version of Just Believe.
Girls and boys should know that they can do anything that they want and desire to do because there's no limit when God is in it, okay? That's what you should know. And they also should know that they can be anything. They can be president, or they can be whatever they want to be, but they just know that they have the freedom to do it unless it's something bad. you have to deal with mom.
That's right. Flex on them.
I'm glad you put that in there. Good.
For the stars, that's what mom tells me. This world may get me down, but always believe I can do anything. Yes, I can achieve. I can be anything. Oh, I can do anything. I can go lessons you should know. Never forget what you have learned. Never let anyone take what you have earned. Shine bright like the diamond you are, and never apologize. You can be anything. You can do anything. You can go anywhere if you believe, just believe. Anything is possible if you just believe. If you just believe, anything is possible. Yeah, if you just believe. You can climb the highest mountains. Anything is possible.
Thank you so much for listening to the How She Moms podcast and for being part of this community. There are so many other ways for you to connect and hopefully also contribute. I share tips and ideas regularly on Instagram and Facebook at How She Moms, and we also have a Facebook group that you can join, which is the main place for more philosophical discussions about the ideas I'll be discussing on future episodes of the podcast. It's also one of the best ways for you to contribute to future episodes. You can find past episodes and other resources at howshemoms.com. I have big plans for revamping my site this fall, so stay tuned for that. And you can always just email me directly at whitney@howshemoms.com. Special thanks to my own wonderful mom, Susan Singley, for recording my theme music. She played this song all the time when I was growing up, and to me, it's the soundtrack of motherhood.